I've had a passion for computers for the vast majority of my conscious life. Some of my earliest memories consist of me being infatuated with the ominous black or beige sometimes box in the corner. And after watching this Tom and Jerry episode where Tom builds his own computer, I would often be connecting together my toy boxes and using paper to create a pretend computer, which got upgraded with a broken keyboard and mouse I was gifted by my parents. When I started middle school, I was given my first computer, a Windows Vista running IDE hard drive tank. This system was apparently to test whether I had an interest in computers. It's safe to say that I did. I would say that I got it just as it was still not a concerning problem for your child to be so interested in computers. And my exemplary performance in school indicated that I would likely use it to learn. So for the first year or so of owning it, you'll be surprised to know that I pretty much just used it for Disney website flash games. But in year 6, I began developing an interest in this little block-based programming language called Scratch. Eventually, for Christmas of that year, I received this book, and I wish I had it with me. Computer Coding for Kids by Carol Vorderman. While looking back, it's likely she had little impact on this book, I still loved it. This introduced me to various functions available to me within Scratch, and I began making more complex things, as well as experimenting with a small text-based programming language named Python. Naturally, I understood the appeal of text-based languages. Obviously, I understood the complexity of computer operating systems. Didn't stop me from trying to make my own in Scratch though. This is Apex OS. It's not good. This specifically is Apex OS version 2.0, as 1.1 has sadly been lost to time. 1.1 was an 1800 script monster of a Scratch project, built to simulate a computer and its operating system. It had its own BIOS and operating system with installer, it had a control panel, various other systems, and as of 2.0 it had its very own file manager, as well as over 50% optimization of scripts. It wasn't practical, but it was mine to tinker with as I went through middle school. And if you want to see it yourself, the project will be linked in the description. It was only when I got into high school though, that I really started comprehensively building on what I knew about computers. I started learning Python as needed for my courses and C# for various video game projects I attempted to make, though that could be a whole video on its own. I built perfectly capable code, but when a certain world event came along, I began using my programming experience to develop knowledge in other projects. When constructing projects for my friends on Discord, I chose Node.js to be how I built my knowledge, building my skills in JavaScript and being some of the first deployable code I could make. Unfortunately, while I developed JavaScript well over the following years, it would be tragedy that led me into further development projects. When my late brother passed in October 2020, we were unable to have any strong memorials for him in person, and my father expressed want for an online memorial of sorts. In what I can only describe as grief-led optimism, I believed I could make a suitable tribute, and began learning HTML and CSS in order to do so. This also introduced me to Bootstrap, a utility library that I would use well into my development career. This project, as well as developing my own personal website, both launched in 2021 and was how I developed experience in front-end development. And while I am ultimately proud of what I created, I do still believe that front-end development is one of my weaker areas when trying to build responsive UI. Nonetheless, we've about caught up to where the information on my development is pretty public knowledge. I continued expanding my back-end capabilities by developing bots in Node.js and server administration for our VPSs running these, and building front-end experiences by doing more and more websites. This is also about the time that Torflare launched and promptly fell flat on its face, though I do still feel very proud of the project and what it represents for my ability as a full stack. Once we're in 2022, the rest of the story is pretty much commission projects and trying to revive one or two things every now and then. I feel that while there's been some missteps along the way, such as the video games, for example, I was pretty well-rounded by the time we hit 2022, and that my skills are well-based to allow me to develop my architecture knowledge and build on my ability with every new project that comes my way. And if you've got any ideas or projects in the pipeline that could use this, consider hiring me. I'm looking for new clients for my software engineering business, Nickel Software, that builds commercial and personal software for any and all needs. From simple informational websites to responsive services with desktop integration, we're happy to provide and service websites, mobile apps, commercial desktop software, and server-side applications. For more information and contact details, please head to nickelsoft.co.uk. Thanks for your consideration. I wonder if that was good. Oh, my spine didn't like it. I hope it's not on my shirt.